Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Peace be with you. This is a short video as a reaction to what I heard from some sisters and some brothers about my position when it comes to what is happening in the States or sometimes what is happening in other countries. It's quite strange to see sisters and brothers reacting in a way where they don't agree with you, when they don't like what you are saying. Very quickly, as an emotional reaction, what we get is, you are not living in the US, you are not in our country, you don't know what you are talking about, as if when we disagree, the emotional reaction is not to argue, it's not to deal with the arguments and with the points that is made, but it's an emotional reaction rejecting your position by the only fact that you are not an American citizen, you are not here to deal with this issue. And this is exactly what I get in some European countries when I'm living in Switzerland, and now I'm living in the UK. What I got when I deal with some issues in France is, oh, you are not French, or for example in Morocco, you are not Moroccan, you are not Algerian. Depending on your position, the people are accepting or not. But when it comes to deal with other countries, they are always okay. So very much supportive when it comes to me taking a position about Palestine, but I'm not a Palestinian, or about the Rohingyas, but I'm not living in Burma. So why is it that we are unable to deal with some of the criticisms and the critical contribution that we may have when it comes to some of the issue, that we don't get the point, we are losing our mind, being very emotional and very reactive. And I'm seeing some of the scholars, some people within academia reacting not even with the points that I'm making, but rejecting and saying, oh, TARIQ Ramadan is supporting FGM, he's supporting female excision. I never supported that for the last 30 years of my life. I have been against it in African countries where I was involved, because still, yes, it's mainly an African cultural way of dealing with it in some of the countries. So the people are saying, oh, once again, it has to do with African American or with the black people. That is silly. That is very superficial. That was not my point. And most importantly, what I'm saying is that this way of dealing with the leadership and with some of the Islamic positions by exposing the people, it's not going to serve us, for one reason, is that if we only react to the way the people are attacking Islam or playing with us and pushing us to expose ourselves to show how much we are open on some of the issues, and I'm not talking about FGM, I'm even talking about what is happening in Palestine, what is happening with some lobbies that are working in the States or in Europe. We have to be consistent, and we have to be able to get with critical contributions and not to insult and not to reject. And it's not only coming from average ordinary Muslims, it's coming from scholars, it's coming from intellectuals, it's coming from people within academia. That's just unfortunate. And we have, once again, to deal with these issues in a more wise way. And especially now, I'm saying this, we are during Ramadan, we are starting the last 10 days of Ramadan. It's the time to ponder, it's the time to be a bit wise in the way we deal with such issues, and to listen to one another. Adab al-ikhtilaf in Islam, it means something, but it's also something which is very important, that we need to have this critical discussion. And when the people are coming to me and saying, oh, you are not an American, you are not a Canadian, you are not a European, you are not such and not so, and you are not this and that, the point is that I'm a human being, and I'm going to deal with everything which has to do with human beings. I'm going to be on the side of the oppressed. I'm going to be on the side of all the oppressed Muslims or people of other faiths. I've been prevented from going to China because I was supporting the Tibetans. I have been criticized by many in African countries because I was supporting women and the status of women, against forced marriage, against female circumcision or excision or FGM. So that's the point, and we have to be clear about this. We have to be also consistent in the way we like the criticisms when they are targeted or directed towards other countries, but when it comes to my country or my situation. And if I disagree with you, emotionally I reject whatever you say. It's not going to work like that. We need to be wise. We need to be open to the critical discussion. And some of the discussions, we have to take a stand and we have to have an internal discussion, because some of the critical and controversial positions are within Islam, and they are justified by some of the scholars. And in our tradition, not only the Salafi, even in the Reformist tradition, in the Madahib, why don't we deal with this in a wise way? We have to. And it's not because we are behind our screens and there is a nice kind of anonymous way of dealing, and we can insult and can say that it's going to solve the problem. There is respect here, self-respect and dignity. We are dealing with serious issues, and we need to know what are our priorities. What are our priorities as to our understanding of our tradition and the way we deal with the surrounding society. And to have these discussions, it's so important. And we have to be wise, we have to be open, we have to be critical, and we have to listen before talking. So please, as an answer to what I got from people who are now, oh, I liked you so much and now I don't, that's not the point. If you like me the way you are now, disagreeing with me, it means it was not true love, it was not true respect, it was a superficial support with no critical discussion, and understanding that our unity is not our uniformity in what we think, it's the way we manage the diversity in the way we think differently. Wallahu a'lam wa a'la wa ahkam. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.